Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I discuss about networks and systems. In this video, I am going to discuss 5 common network issues that I have seen in my years of working with various environments, from small to large, that I have always seen come up. This is not a list of least common to most common issues, but just a list of common network issues that I had experienced. I will be showing a basic diagram of an environment where the issue can be seen. I will then go on to show you what you will see and then how you can resolve it. I'll be using a combination of Windows and Linux machines and Cisco devices, but the underlying OS doesn't really matter. As long as you understand the root cause, you'll then know where to look. So with that, let's begin. Common network issues number 5. And so we have a branch office here on the left side, 192.168.2.0/24. We've got some client computers, and they're connected to branch office router BL-R1, and it connects to a branch office switch BL-SW1, and connects to a 100 megabit LAN extension remote link, and connects to DC-SW1 data center switch 1. Data center, it's in the network range 10.1.1.0/24, and we have a server here 10.1.1.1/24. Here's the server 10.1.1.1. I want to start up iperf server mode. And here's the client computer 192.168.2.105. Going to connect to the server. And the speeds are about 94 megabits per second on this 100 megabits link here. So the speeds are fine on this link. I'm just going to clear, stop server, do a clear. The next stage, you're getting calls that the network is slow and people can't do their work, and your boss needs you to find out what's wrong. You didn't make any changes last night, so where do you start? What could be the issue? And so you do another transfer test between client computer 192.168.2.105 and the server 10.1.1.1. Go on to the server, and then we'll start up iperf and go on to iperf as a client. And you right away notice that the speeds are 22 megabits, 35, 18, 0, 2 megabits, 2, and so what we should check next is the link, the 100 megabit link between the back office switch and the data center switch. So let's minimize these windows here. And let's log into the back office switch and the DC switch. So this is the back office switch. This is the DC switch. And let's check interface fast Ethernet 0/24. And we're seeing some runts. We're seeing some input errors, some CRCs. And we're seeing on this link here that it's not fully utilizing the 100 megabits that's available. And now let's check to see if these are incrementing the runts and the input errors. And they are incrementing. So there is something going on this link. Now let's check on the branch office side. And then we'll check patchingnet 0/11. And noticing input rate of 86 megabits. And we're also seeing output errors and some collisions. And when you see this, chances are that there's a duplex mismatch. And so what we can see here is that this is at half duplex, 100 megabits. And on the other side, we see here full duplex, 100 megabits. When this happens, it's generally because one side is set to auto-negotiate and the other side is hard-coded. For example, would be to 100 megabits full duplex. And then on the side that's set to auto-negotiate, it will come up as 100 megabits half duplex. So let's go to the branch office switch, and this is interface FA0/11. So we can do a show run on it, and we can see here that it's set to auto negotiate as it's not hard coded. And on the DC switch one side, FA0/24, show run on it, and we can see that it's hard coded. So what we can do to resolve this is we can hard code it on the branch office switch. And it has been set to 100 full duplex. And then so let's do a int on it. And we can see it's now at 100 megabits full duplex. So I'm going to minimize this, and then we're going to do another test, another transfer test between 192.168.2.105 and the server. Okay, and here is the client again, and here is the server. I'm going to start up the server, and we're going to start the client. And we're getting speeds of 95 megabits per second, as expected, what we should be seeing for this link. So what could cause something like this? A power blip or a power maintenance can cause the switch to go down, and if the config wasn't saved to have the interface hard-coded, when it comes up, it'll default to auto-negotiate. Now this isn't just with switches, but can also be seen with various media converters with remote links or LAN extensions. Common network issues number 4. So we have the same diagram from common network issues number 5, and we're going to do another transfer between the client 192.168.2.105 going to the server 10.1.1.1. Okay, we're going to pull up the client again, and here's the server. I'm going to start it up. Okay, we're getting 33 megabits, 41, 38, 30, 24, 16, 12, 18, 13, 12, and this is a 100 megabit link here, and we're seeing these types of speeds. Going to minimize these two windows here, and then we're going to go and check the switches just to see if there's anything going on. Okay, and we got the two switches here logged in, and we're gonna do a show interface on it. And we see it's at full duplex, 100 megabits, so it's not a duplex issue. And we're seeing the input rate 98 megabits per second. And there's no input errors, there's no CRCs, there's no output errors, there's no collisions. Let's check on the other side here. And we're seeing 99 megabits on the output rate, and full duplex, there's no duplex issue there, no input errors, and no output errors, collisions. And so what it looks like here, it's saturation. When we were doing our transfer earlier, we were seeing that it couldn't get any higher because the link was already saturated. There was other traffic going across the link. And then so if there's other traffic going across the link, then it wouldn't be able to go any faster, as this is a 100 megabit link and that's as fast as it can go. So the quickest way to resolve this would be to upgrade the link from 100 megabit to a 1 gigabit link, for example, and then you shouldn't see any further saturation issues. Common network issues number 3. And so we have here DB servers environment 192.168.2.0/24, and then the web servers environment 192.168.1.0/24. And then we can see here that there are 2 DB servers, and here are the respective IPs, and then there's also 2 web servers and the respective IPs. And communication between them is fine, everything is good, there are no issues. And what we want to do is add in this new server here, web3, and then assign an IP address 192.168.1.4. So let's do that. Here's web number 3. Do an ifconfig, apply the address. ifconfig, and we see the address has been applied. And let's do a test. We'll ping web number 1, 192.168.1.2. And it's pinging. Or is it? Looks like we're not getting any responses now after number 7. It seems to have stopped. So let's hit Control-C, and then we're seeing some packet loss here. Let's try pinging it again. And it's not responding. But it was responding earlier here, as we can see. But it's not responding now. Let's try it one more time. Getting 100% packet loss. And it's responding again. So it looks like that there's some intermittent connectivity here. So what's happening? Well, if after you add in a new system, new IP, and you're seeing this type of behavior, intermittent connectivity, packet loss, chances are that you're running into a duplicate IP address on the network. So there's another device, another server that has the same IP address. So what can we do? Well, let's first remove the IP address on the server web3. So 192.168.1.4. And we see that it's removed. And so let's go on to web 1. Here is web 1. And let's try pinging 192.168.1.4. And we're able to ping it. So that IP address was already assigned. It was already in use on the network. And let's do an ARP. And we can see here on the ARP, the last 4 is 09:00 for 192.168.1.4. And then if we go on to web 3, and then the MAC address is 08:00. So 2 different MAC addresses here. And so to avoid something like this, what you can do before applying the IP address is go onto one of the servers in the network and just do a ping for that IP address that you're going to assign, and check to see if it's responding, check to see if you get an ARP for it. And if you do, then you know that it's already in use, so you can't use it, and you'll have to use a different IP address. Common network issues number 2. We have this small environment here. There is a router connected to an AP, and visitors and guests who come into the office either connect through a wired connection or use the wireless through the AP here. Everything is working, everything is fine, and then later in the day, some users are connecting either wired or through the AP, and they do an ipconfig and they see this auto configuration IPv4 address 169.254.73.191. This means it's not able to get an IP address from the DHCP server. And then you hear about other users who are connecting also getting an address from the 169.254 range as well. So they're not able to get an IP address either. So if you're seeing this and you're noticing other users who are connecting are not able to get an IP address either, to getting an IP address of 169.254 range, then chances are that the DHCP IP pool has been exhausted. There are no more IP addresses available to be distributed. So we take a look here. The range is 192.168.1.0/25, so there are 127 IP addresses there, but not all of them are usable because there's the network address, there's the broadcast address, and then there's going to be an IP address used for the router, there's going to be one for the AP, and then there could be other statically assigned IP addresses in the environment here. But of course, you'll have to take a look at your environment to see how you can expand the amount of IP addresses in your DHCP pool so that it will prevent these users from not getting an IP address. Common network issue number 1. So I'm on a Linux Live CD here. I'm running Linux Mint, but it doesn't matter what the OS is. And you see that the internet is slow. You go to a site, let's say Microsoft.com. And you notice it's taking some time to load up. It's loading up, but it's taking some time. And looks like it's finally loaded up. And let's try another site. Let's do Facebook. And we're seeing the same thing as well. It's taking some time. And finally, it's coming up. Yep, and now it's came up. Now, so what if we try to ping it? Let's try pinging facebook.com. Looks like it's taken some time as well. Okay, now it's responding. All right, and so you notice that your colleagues are also seeing the same thing, and it was working fine yesterday, and you made no changes on your end, no power maintenances either, and let's say that there's no bandwidth saturation either there, and you're still seeing this. And so what could be the issue? So what we do know is that the response time for Facebook.com, so 16 milliseconds, 19.5 milliseconds. There's no packet loss here, and the return trip time looks fine. So what you should check here is your DNS to see if there's any issues there. When it's throwing a resolution on Facebook.com, see how long it takes for it to be resolved. So what we can do here is we can do a dig, facebook.com, and it came back, and we see here server's 8.8.8.8, but it took some time there for it to respond back. So what you can do is you can check to see your DNS servers that you have configured to use as resolution. And in Linux, you can check the resolve.conf file. So we see in the result.conf file, there's two name servers, 1.1.1.1 and 8.8.8.8. And we see in the lookup that we did, 8.8.8.8 was used. And so 1.1.1.1 is listed first. So let's try to do a dig directly at 1.1.1.1. And it's saying connection timed out. No servers could be reached. So it looks like we're not able to reach 1.1.1.1 to do any resolution. So what we can do is we can remove 1.1.1.1 from our list here and then do another check to see if that fixes the issue. So we'll go into VI and we'll just comment this out. And now we'll do another dig. Facebook.com. And we see it's responding back, but this could be cached, so we'll try another site. Let's do Microsoft. It's responding back, and let's do another site. Let's do a site that we haven't checked before. So for example, we can do Yahoo, and it's responding back right away. So if we go back to our browser here, and we'll go to another site, we'll go to YouTube. And you can see it is loading up YouTube and it's much quicker than before. So that is common network issue number 1, an issue with DNS. If the DNS server is not responding, it may take some time to time out before it tries the second server. And to fix it, just remove it from the list or add another server to the list so it can be used instead. So those were 5 common network issues that I had experienced over my years working, and I hope it was helpful and educational. And if this was helpful, please be sure to subscribe and give a thumbs up. I plan to make more of these types of videos, so be sure to check them out, and thank you for watching.